Good evening. Welcome back to Nick Can't Game or Can He, my YouTube gaming channel. I hope you're all doing very well and that you've had an excellent start to your week and that it only gets better from here. As I'm recording it, we're a couple days out from Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend time with your family, friends, and loved ones and that you have an excellent time and there are no food fights. With that said, today we're diving back into our Pro Wrestling Sims series, our WCW Revival, and we're going to continue on, and I'm going to flip over to the game and we'll have some fun. Here we are at the in-game October 6th Monday Nitro, coming from a big stadium in Florida, and we are all completely booked out here. We see here that we still have contract offers out for The Rock and for WWE's Bailey. We'll hope to be able to hire them, and after this show. So we hit the start show button, and our opening segment gets 100% rating, highlighting some of the big wrestlers in our company. We go out to the announce table where two of the announcers talk about tonight's show. And that gets a 74% segment rating. We have our new signee, hiree Chelsea Green, showing up in a limo after making her official debut. And we also have the Polly Queen stable arriving to the arena, and Liv Morgan. Let's see. Liv makes her way out to the ring and has a match with Taryn Terrell. It's a quick match to keep her in the public eye before her final match with Trish Stratus at Halloween Havoc coming up. It's a 3-star match and it gets an 80% rating. After the match, Trish comes out and starts attacking Liv and beats her down and leaves her laying in the ring, furthering their feud. Jessamine Duke, who was kayfabe injured about a month or so back, makes her return and attacks one of the people that injured her, Alex Windsor, who's a member of the Polly Queen stable. She does this while Alex and Eva Marie, who is the head of the stable, are being interviewed backstage by Nikki Garcia. And that gets an 82% segment score. We have next up a match between Ezekiel, Creed, and Miro. Only a 1-star match with a 64% overall. Miro picks up the victory. We go to commercial break. We're on a new streaming platform now that is paying us a bit more per show, and we're doing advertisements for that involving Miro, CJ Perry, Ash by Elegance, AJ Francis, and Ezekiel Creed. Everybody gains some popularity, and that commercial break gets a 93% rating. We have CJ Perry, who just turned face a few weeks ago after losing the television championship to Simon Miller, coming out, giving a heartfelt promo, announcing that she's trying to be a better person now, talking about wanting to earn respect, and that she's going to be flawless now from dedication, skill, and integrity. and to earn her place, and that gets an 81% segment score. Next, we have Simon Miller, the current television champion, coming out to the ring and taking up a guest commentary spot for the upcoming match between the women who are in the contendership for the television title. The television title, as you may remember, is an intergender title. So everybody gets some popularity gain here, and the segment gets an 83% overall. We go to the match. The women who are challenging for the title, a three-way match won by Lash Legend. She'll be the first one to have a match against Simon of the women for the title. Nobody really gained any popularity. It was only a 2-star match, 51% final score. The crowd wasn't that into it. After the match, Santana Garrett continues her feud with Lash Legend by attacking her and beating her up. Next, we go to the ring, where women who are part of the women's tag team championship storyline, the party idols of Haley J and Mia Momono taking on the Poly Queens of Alex Windsor and Maki Ito. It's a big 4-star match, 81% overall. Maki Ito gets the pins, so that the Poly Queens are going to be getting a Women's World Championship title match soon. We go back to commercial break for the latest round of t-shirts, and that commercial gets an 83% rating. We have Ace Austin talking about his upcoming title match, cutting a promo, and that gets a 79%. Next we have Ronda and Ava. And at this point, Ronda is just about falling under Ava's spell, and that gets a 99%. Then we have Mystico in his match against Ace Austin. 3.5-star match. Mystico defends his Cruiserweight Championship, and he gets the win, and he holds on to his belt. And that's a 77% match rating. Then we have a backstage interview with Drew Galloway talking about Matt Cardona, and those are the two big contenders for the World Championship currently held by Joe Hendry. They will be having a match later on in the show in the main event to determine the number one contender, and that gets to 75%. We have the Varsity Athletes defending their tag team championship against the Dead Man's Hand. They weren't quite able to steal the show. It's at 62% overall, but Grayson Waller and Eric successfully defend their title. We go to the back. Nikki Garcia is having a sit-down interview, really tense, between Mariah May and Asuka, where they're talking about Asuka being the one to attack Mina Shirakawa and leave her laid out, and then Mariah's attack on her, and things are really tense, but it doesn't quite escalate to the level of a brawl. So we are going to here turn them both. This is a double turn. Asuka is now a heel, and Mariah is now a face, and that gets an 88% segment score. Then we go to the ring. Chelsea Green in her debut match, taking on Angelina Love and picking up the victory. They apparently don't have good chemistry as opponents, so we won't be putting them together again in the future. And that's a 55% overall match score. We get one more commercial break, and that gets an 82%. And that's an advertisement for the Lay's Company video game. Then we have Matt Cardona cutting a promo on Drew Galloway rather. And that's in relations to their match in the main event. And then we have Becky Lynch coming out to the ring, cutting a promo and accepting the challenge made by Ronda Rousey for the Women's World Championship that was done on the last episode. And that gets a 94% segment score. And then we have a match, Asuka taking on Ali. And it's a submission match. And Asuka basically destroys her. 3-star match, 77% match rating. And after Mina Shirakawa, who had been attacked by Asuka the other week, makes her return, attacks Asuka, throws her to the outside and puts her through the announce table. And that gets a 78% segment score. And next we have our main event, the number one contendership match between Drew Galloway and Matt Cardona. It's a 2.5-star match, but the crowd was really into it, 85% overall. They did manage to steal the show. There was a big spot on the outside. Drew picked up the win, and he's going to be the number one contender at the Halloween Havoc Premium Live event. We got an 81% show rating, gaining in popularity across the world, which is definitely a good thing. We go on to the next day. Let's see if our contract offers were accepted. Okay. Okay. We sold 57,000 tickets. We made $2.9 million. And that's after the gate share clause. We had 5,386,000 viewers. That's our biggest viewership yet. 785,000 in income. Bailey, under her real name of Davina Rose, accepts our contract, so we'll finalize that. We succeeded in our promise to Kane. Okay. The Rock signed back up with WWE. We were not able to get him. That's unfortunate. That would have been a big deal. Is there anybody else worth making an offer to? Okay. I don't see anything. So we're going to move on to our next day and our next show. Well, our next show is actually on Thursday, but you know what I mean. Okay. Anybody we might want to hire here? She's a backstage interviewer. We already got a good one of those. Interesting. So there's some backstage tension between Mariah and Becky. That's very interesting. Let's see if there's anything we can do about that. Let's see if we can suggest her transitioning to more of an entertainer style as opposed to a traditional style wrestler. She's not interested in changing that at this time. Okay. So let's see what's in our mail. Okay. We've got some people coming over to us soon. But not until after our next premium live event. Okay, let's see, when is... It doesn't say when she's starting for us, so let's go and take a quick look. Filter. Works for us. Okay, she starts in the first week of November. Okay, so we won't have her to do matches and promos with yet. Okay. So let's go on to the next day in our next show. Is there anybody up for hire? What's going on here with Ring of Honor? Why are so many people leaving? He's available for negotiations. Okay. 3 years. Like all our wrestlers. Let's say $750 an appearance. 20,000 a month. Let's offer him a $25,000 signing bonus. He's really a better heel than a face. He'd be good for our mid-card championship scene. Um, hmm. This could work for him, but I don't know that he has the intimidation factor. Hmm. What would be a good gimmick for him? Maximum effort. Hmm. He is kind of a cocky character. Let's go with that. Um. Well, we actually have the cocky gimmick, so we don't need to go with arrogant. We can go with the actual. Yeah, that works. Let's see if we can steal Sammy Guevara. Oh, they'd be good for my tag team division. Mason Mansoor. Yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can steal him for 3 years. Um, Make it 400 a month. 10,000. $15,000 signing bonus. Model. Because in WWE he was part of the Maximum Male Models team. Um, no, he's not an enhancement talent. Come on. Let's put him in the mid card. And let's grab his tag team partner. Okay, give him 400 a month as well. 3-year contract. 8,000 a month. $10,000 signing bonus. And make the offer. Let's see if we can get that tag team. That's nice. Unexpected chaos. Okay. So Joshua's brother, one half of our former women's tag team champions, and someone I'm not familiar with, were at a local dive bar. Started doing karaoke. Someone tried to hype the crowd with an air horn. And the other one may or may not have been kicked out for attempting to wrestle a bar stool. And the bartender said they were wild with damn good chippers. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Okay, so let's go over to Thunder. Again, all booked out. And we start the show. We're expecting around 20,000 people at this location. Our opening segment gets 100%. We start the show with a triple threat between Kenta, Miro, and Raj Desi, who are contenders for the television championship. It's only a 1.5-star match with a 61% overall rating. Kenta picks up the win. He'll be the first man to challenge Simon Miller for the belt. They were getting pretty good reactions from their momentum. Next we have the big start to the finals of the Women's United States Championship Tournament. So everybody gains in popularity for this. We have announcers Beth Phoenix and Joe Tessitore hyping up the show, hyping up the match, and they make their entrance. They have a stare down, and we go to the match, the finals of the Women's United States Championship Tournament between Leah Vandale and Bea Priestley. Leah picks up the win and is the inaugural Women's United States Champion. 64% overall, 69% crowd reaction, and the Polly Queens have a champion in the stable. Next we go to the back, and Santana Garrett is being interviewed by Shane McMahon about her ongoing rivalry with the Flash Legend. And she promises to eventually put Lash in her place. And that gets a 68% segment score. We go to an advertisement, our first commercial break, for the company's new streaming platform, Apple Plus, featuring the two women who were just in that championship match, Miro, Lash, and Santana. Everybody gains in popularity, and that gets an 89% segment score. Next we have Britt Baker taking on Alex Windsor. It's sort of a tune-up match for Britt's Halloween Havoc match against Mercedes Bernardo. Britt got a boost to her performance because of her gimmick, good reaction. They're both riding waves of momentum. They enjoyed the special entrance and the chaos, and it really put Britt over. Why does it say? No, she's not making any character changes. That's an 80% overall in a 3-star match. After the match, Mercedes steps onto the stage and with a microphone in her hand and starts threatening Britt. Again, they've got their match coming up at Halloween Havoc. We have a match furthering the storyline with Eva Marie and Ronda, and that gets a segment, and that gets a 100% rating. We go back to the ring where Riho is having her first match in WCW TV, facing off against Vipress. Riho really had and Harley Cameron at the same time. Riho picks up the win. Gains a lot of popularity. 61% overall, 2.5-star match. We move on to the next commercial for the latest round of trading cards. For Santana, Vipress, Zillafat 2, Dango, and Angelina Love. And that gets a 76% overall. We have a Women's Tag Team Championship match. The Divine Desires, the current champions, against the Beautiful Disasters. It ends in a draw, a double pin. Basically, both of the people had their shoulders on the mat at the same time, and they got both the ref counted both the pins, so no real definitive winner. And it was a 4-star quality match, though. 91% crowd reaction, 84% overall. The tag team champions hold on to their belts. Next, we continue the story between Mayu Iwatani and Kairi, with Mayu jumping Kairi and launching a brutal backstage attack, uh, throwing her into walls, into production crates, and just beating the hell out of her. And that gets a 62% segment rating. Then we have Hangman Adam Page cutting a promo on Brock Lesnar, challenging him for the United States Championship at Halloween Havoc, and that gets a 76% segment rating. He called Brock out. Brock wasn't there. Then we go to a backstage interview. Nikki Garcia interviewing Joe Hendry, who was talking about the championship defense at Halloween Havoc and facing Drew Galloway, and that gets a 94%. Our main event is Joshua Fatu taking on Malachi Black, and that gets a great crowd reaction. 2.5-star match, 87% overall, and they did manage to steal the show. Sorry, my sinuses are blocked tonight, so yeah, that's why you hear me kind of wheezing and sniffling. So our show rating is an 84%, gaining in popularity across the world. And we advance and we conclude the tournament. All right. Let's see what's in our mail. We sold 19,660 tickets, with over $1 million in ticket sales after the gate share clause contracts. We made $767,000 from Apple TV Plus for 5.6 million viewers. Pretty nice. Let's see. Is there somebody we might want to hire? I don't see anybody. We still got our contract offers out. So let's advance to the next day, see if any of them sign. Okay. Yes, they all accepted our offer. We've got one new mid-card heel and a new heel tag team members of our tag team division. I can't speak tonight, in addition to my blocked up nose. Okay. Alright, finalize contract. Finalize contract. When is he available? Is he available immediately? He is available immediately. And so are they. Okay. I'm going to end the women's tag team tournament storyline because the tournament has completed. I'm going to have to create a storyline for Leah's challengers. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, that title will be defended exclusively on Thunder. Can I add? Can I add Mason and Mansoor in here? Madden, ad worker. Add Mansoor. Save changes. Okay, we will have them make a big debut on this episode of Nitro. I'm going to pause my recording here because it's time for me to have dinner. And we're back. It's time to do our next show, the Monday Nitro for October 13th. And first, let's check what's in our mailbox. Yeah, we are still... It's our promotional war report. We're still definitively better than CMLL. And better than New Japan. WWE is still better than us, although we are drawing now in 3 categories. So they're only winning 4. So that's good. We're improving. Our production quality is a draw. Our best star quality is a draw. Most entertaining roster we're drawing with them. That's not bad. We're definitely gaining on them. We are absolutely definitively better than their NXT group. And definitely better than AEW as well. So, let's go over into our Monday Nitro, which is all booked out. And get the show started. Opening segment. Video package about the stars of the show with our opening pyro. Gets us to 100%. Our announcers are previewing tonight's show, and that gets us 74%, with popularity growth for almost everybody. We go backstage and we see Jessamine Duke and Saraya arrive, and the announcer is wondering if the members of the Poly Queens they attacked last week are watching. We have another video package with the whole Poly Queen stable arriving, and that gets a 94%. We have Alex Windsor and Maki Ito talking about the attack from the previous week by Jessamine and Saraya, and lo and behold, Jessamine and Saraya jumped them from over the railing. They start fighting. They keep on fighting. That's at 82%, and they in fact fight all the way outside the arena, through the crowd, and out onto the streets for another 87% segment score. We go back to the ring. The tag team champions of the varsity athletes, Grayson Waller and Eric Bugenhagen, are defending against Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth, the show-offs. And at the end of the match, Nick is attacked by Joshua Fatu, continuing on with their storyline. 91% crowd reaction, 1-star match quality for 77% overall. After the match, our new signee tag team of MMM, Mansoor and Mace Madden attack the tag team champions and beat them down, leaving them laying in the ring. And they are now part of the tag team division, gunning for the titles. Cruiserweight champion Mystico issues an open challenge to defend his belt against anyone in the back, and our new hire Sammy Guevara comes out there and accepts the challenge. That gets an 80%. And we go to the match. The referee has informed you that Mystico was injured 4 minutes into the match. We cut to the finish, and that's one option. The other option is to continue the match as planned despite the injury, or call off the match entirely. We are going to cut to the finish. We are going to have Sammy pick up the win because Mystico's injured. He's probably going to be out for a while and won't be able to defend his title. So that's an 84% crowd reaction, 78% overall. I would have thought that means Sammy would be the champion now, but that doesn't seem to be listed here. We'll have to check after the show. We go to commercial break, and for the latest set of action figures, and the commercial rating is an 83%. We have a feud recap video for the Santana Garrett and Lash Legend feud, which gets a 100%. And then Santana gets a tune-up match against enhancement talent Ella Envy. It's only a 1.5 star match, 39% overall. And then we have Kairi Sane coming into the ring to cut a promo on Mayu Iwatani about their feud and challenging her to a match for the Halloween Havoc PLE, and that gets an 86%. We have a squash match, Miro taking on Effie, 1.5 stars, only 55% overall rating. After the match, Ezekiel Creed and his stable leader Bully Ray hop in the ring and attack Miro and beat him down and leave him laying there for an 82%. And Miro gets stretchered out after the attack and taken to a local medical facility. We go to an advertisement for the latest action figures. Asuka, Bad Bunny, Becky Knox, Drew Galloway, and Joe Hendry. And that commercial gets a 98% rating. We come back to the ring, a quick match, Macy Estrella versus Trish Stratus. Starting off this section of the show, it's a 3-star match, 74% overall. Afterwards, we cut to the back. Drew Galloway has earned the #1 contendership to the world title last week, and now Joe Hendry is here, and he wants this match with Drew at Halloween Havoc to be a last man standing match to prove who's really got it, and that's a 98% segment score. Then we have a 4-tag team match. The Dead Man's Hand versus Team EYKK versus Top Flight versus the New Legacy, and Cain Velasquez picks up the win. They weren't quite able to steal the show. It was only a 1.5 star match. The crowd was really into it, and it gets an 83% overall. We go to commercial break for the latest t-shirt releases. And then we have an intergender match, Kenta versus Lash Legend, to see which of these two will be the first contender for Simon Miller's TV title, and the loser will be the second contender. Kenta picks up the win. He'll be challenging Simon at Halloween Havoc. Then we have a contract signing segment with Liv Morgan and Trish Stratus, and things go nuts. It ends up in a pull-apart brawl, but the contract is signed for Halloween Havoc for the third match in their trilogy. And this segment gets an overall 78%. We go to a triple threat tag team match in the women's division. Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa versus the Poly Queens, Alex Windsor, Maki Ito versus the Resistance, Bobby Tyler and Rosemary. Mina picks up the victory, gets the pin. It's a 4-star match, 91% overall. The crowd was really into this. And our main event, Samoa Joe versus Bad Bunny. They weren't quite able to steal the show. The crowd was into it though. It was a 2-star match, 84% overall. %, show rating, popularity growth throughout the world. And we go on to the next day. And let's see what's in our mailbox. We sold over 60,000 tickets. $2.9 million in ticket sales after the gate share clause. We have 5.5 million viewers, $785,000 in income. Mystico hit with an injury. Yeah, how long is he out? He is out with a brain injury. That's a concussion until December 25th. What is going on with his championship? We're going to have to vacate that because he's out way too long. And he can't defend the title if he's out with a concussion. We will vacate the title. Okay, and we will have a segment where Sammy is named champion on the next show. So we're 2 days away from Charlotte Flair starting with the company. Let's see on who might be available for hiring. I don't see anybody. Okay. Alright, we'll go on to the next day. See what comes up in our mail. Okay. Alright, we have Buddy Matthews joining our company. So we'll get him on the net the make his debut on Thunder. Mm, I don't see anybody else that I recognize. We have nothing in our mailbox. Okay. So we go on to the next day. We now have Charlotte Flair working for us. Okay, I've heard of her. Hmm, sort of average. I don't. I'm not seeing anybody else that we might want to hire. What's in our mail? Yes, just about Charlotte joining us. Okay, I'm gonna book out Thunder, and I'll be right back. And we finished out. We're finishing out our episode here with this Thunder and the debut of Ashley Flair, formerly Charlotte in WWE. Um, we've got it all booked out, and we'll see if we can make this a big show. Okay, we hit the start show button, and we get 100% segment rating on our opening intro and the pyro going off. We go to ringside with our announcing team talking about the people who are going to be appearing on tonight's show. And everybody gains in popularity. And we get a 74% segment. New Cruiserweight Champion Sammy Guevara enters the ring and cuts a promo. He's gloating about his victory over Mystico, playing down Mystico's injury as being merely unlucky. He declares himself the new big deal in WCW and the future of the Cruiserweight division, promising that nobody's ever going to take his title from him. And he, struts around the ring with the title and then holds it in the air before hitting to the back, and that gets an 81% segment score. We go to the ring, Buddy Matthews making his debut for the company in a 3-star match against El Tejano Jr., picking up his first victory in the company. The crowd weren't too hot for it, but it was a good match overall, and so it gets a 60% match rating. Buddy picks up a lot of popularity. And we have a countdown clock appearing on the arena screen. The lights go out, and it starts counting down to a time just over an hour away. The seconds ticking and minutes ticking down, and the announcer's wondering what's going on. What is this countdown clock for? The clock is for the debut. Will be revealed as being for the debut of Ashley Flair, and that gets a 76% segment score. Nikki Garcia is backstage interviewing Santana Garrett about her rivalry with Lash Legend. When Lash and Raven appear out of nowhere and start throwing Santana around, beating her up, hitting her with chairs, and just further furthering their feud and um, moving things along, as it were. And that gets a 66% segment score. We go back to the ring, and we have another 3-star match, this time between Eddie Edwards and Silla Fatu. Again, they're not very big stars in the company, but they did put on a good match. The crowd wasn't really there for it. We'll need to get them some promo time going forward. And that's a 60% overall. We go to our first commercial break for the streaming platform. And our commercial gets an 83% rating. We get to CJ Perry backstage. She's cutting a promo about her change of heart, change of personality, and she's interrupted by the former women's tag team champions Mandy Sachs and Daria Berenato, mocking her about her transformation and calling her weak, telling her she's never going to earn anybody's respect and that she needs to remember where she comes from. CJ stands her ground and exchanges in a war of words with him, telling them that her ravishing revolution has just begun and she doesn't need dirty tactics anymore. It doesn't come to blows, but we have Mandy and Daria turning heel here. And they're going to be part of the program going forward. We should be having a match between CJ and one of them sometime soon. We go back to the ring. Alex Kane taking on Dirty Dango, 2 mid-carders, going at it to put on a show for the crowd, who didn't really care. 1.5-star match, 54% overall match score. We go to back to the ring. Our World Television Champion Simon Miller makes his way out. He talks about his Halloween Havoc challenger Kenta. He expresses his excitement for the upcoming match, praising Kenta's skill and reputation and calling it a dream match, and that he's ready to prove himself. Then Kenta comes out, acknowledges the respect, and returns the respect, saying that he believes he will win the championship at Halloween Havoc, and the two of them shake hands, and that gets an 87% overall segment score. After that, Leah Van Dale, the Women's United States Champion who just won the title the previous episode, walks to the ring, accompanied by Ava Marie, and starts cutting a promo about her victory on the tournament. She's interrupted by Jessamine Duke, who is still out for revenge after being put on the sideline by the rest of the Poly Queens earlier in the year. And they exchange in a war of words. And then Leah clocks her with the title belt. And she and Eva Marie walk off. That's an 84% segment score. Then the countdown clock comes back on. It hits 0. And Ashley Flair's music hits. She gets a big entrance, makes her way down to the ring. Soaking in a big reaction from the fans. She grabs a microphone, introduces herself to the WCW crowd, and says she's arrived to claim her rightful place at the top. She sets her sights on Liv Morgan as a stepping stone on her path to the Women's World Championship. They will have a match in the future after Liv's final match in her trilogy with Trish Stratus at Halloween Havoc. For the match, Ashley has a debut match. Chelsea Green comes out to challenge her. They go about 15 minutes. It's a pretty good match. They had a lot of star power and momentum. A 3-star match, 83% overall, and that closes out our show, which gets an 80% show rating. No popularity change in North America, but gaining in popularity of the rest of the world. And we go on to the next day. We check our mail here. We sold over 20,000 tickets. 1.2 million in ticket sales after the gate share clause. We had 5 million viewers, 767,000 in income from Apple TV. Let's see, is there anybody that we might want to put a contract offer out for? I don't recognize any of these names, so I guess that's okay. We'll go to Saturday, see what comes up in our emails, and then to Sunday, and then I'll end the episode. Okay. Anybody we want to hire? Anybody at all? Is there anybody whose name I actually recognize? No. Nothing in our emails either. We'll go on to the next day. Nothing in the email. Anybody that I've actually heard of that we might want to hire? Anyone at all? Anybody? And no. Let's see, is there anybody debuting? Hire a bull. Custom filters. Here we go. See if we can find debut date. Anybody new? No, nobody new. Okay. So with that done, I'm going to exit the game and end the episode. And we'll be back with another episode relatively soon, which will include our next premium live event, Halloween Havoc. As always, I thank you for spending this time out of your day with me. I'm very grateful for your kindness, support, and love. I love and treasure you all. Take my love with you everywhere you go. And remember to be good to each other. It's the highest calling in all the world. Show each other kindness, compassion, mercy, and love. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.